For a man, masturbating or rubbing the tip of the penis brings immediately the effect and brings ejaculation.
Yeah.
For a woman, it's totally different. She is like a Jiko. It takes time to warm her up. And that's what I call foreplay. But most men don't do. But foreplay brings her slowly, haba na haba ujasaki baba, to that point, where she finally reaches her first orgasm.
Yeah.
Listen carefully. She can have a second and a third and a fourth orgasm. Men don't know.
This is a new meeting point for people all over the world to gather for healing and ultimate wellness through the solutions provided in our conversations. Welcome to Wellness with Lilly. Hi everyone, and thank you so much for being on this channel, Shared Moments with Justus. My name is Lilly Gidhui, and this is a new segment that we've started. It's called Wellness with Lilly. This is where we discuss issues, wellness, health, all areas of our health, the mind, the body, the soul, the spirit. So we want to just talk about wellness, to hear from you what issues are bothering you. This is also a place where we hear from you and we address your issues. Today is an interesting day because I know a lot of marriages may be going through a slump in your love life, in your sex life. So this is a show where we're going to talk about how to bring back the spark in your marriage, how to heal, sexual healing for your marriage. And with me is Piet Van Altena, an interesting gentleman I met. I'm so happy to have met you, by the way. Do you remember that we met in a petrol station? That was so interesting. So Piet is a psychologist, first of all. I'm a psychologist for over 30 years, you said, and a sex coach for the last 10 years.
10 years,
Yes. So he practices in Kenya. He's based in Kenya. Where is your office?
In Mwimuto.
In Mwimuto. Mwimuto, yes. So he's a sex coach. That means he gives advice to couples who want to revamp or revive or just improve, elevate their sex life. And so that's the conversation that we shall be having today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome.
Yes.
Lilly, you invited a sex coach. Let me start with a punch statement. According to me, sex is divine.
Okay.
It's God's gift to people. The problem is your mother told you something else. To keep you and all the other ones away from the boys.
Yes.
And I think she was not very successful.
Yes. My mother told me that it's only the pleasure lasts less than a minute and the damage will last a lifetime.
That's a shocking thing. That's totally opposite of what I tried to explain. It's a divine thing.
Yeah, okay. All right. Who is Piet Van Altena?
Okay. That could fill an hour, but I'll bring it in a nutshell.
All right.
I'm Dutch by birth. Born in The Hague in the Netherlands. The funny thing is, everybody here knows my hometown.
Yes.
Let's not discuss that. After 30 years, I moved from the Netherlands to Switzerland. Now Holland, the Netherlands, is flat like a chapati. Switzerland has 180 mountains in the size of Mount Kenya. All those people there live in valleys and they don't know what happens on the other side of the mountain. They're very self-centered.
Okay.
And cold-hearted.
Okay.
Not like the French who can kiss you even if they don't know you. Swiss people will shake your hands like this.
Oh, right.
Stay away from them.
All right. Then you came to Kenya.
And then I came to Kenya. Why did I came to Kenya? In Switzerland, I became the manager for World Vision.
Oh.
An international organization working for kids in the third world.
Yeah.
And after some years, I was ordered, sent to Kenya and Malawi to check the project, to see the work done directly at the place. I didn't like Malawi. I was shocked there. People were waiting for me. We arrived after 2 hours And then my first cultural shock was ladies came out of the house and kneeled down in front of me to wash my hands. I was not introduced to that.
You didn't like that?
Well, I was shocked.
Was it sexy in any way?
No, not sexy at all. For me, it was something like, why should you kneel down? We are equal.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's maybe just a form of honor, which I'm sure you didn't find
I
in
slowly get to know that.
Yeah.
But I would like to be not different than any other people here. There's a color change, but the blood inside is the same. You can live with my blood if you need it.
I get that. I want to skip to the part where you are in Kenya practicing sexology or sex coaching.
Well, it's two jobs together. I'm a counseling psychologist with 30 years of experience. Imagine what I listened to. That's heavy stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But the other part came after some years. So I am not also a sexologist with an experience of 10 years.
All right.
It became necessary mainly in Kenya because in Europe we don't have a problem with the word sex. Here it's called a three-letter word.
Yeah. Well, not everywhere though.
I know, but generally speaking, it's still a taboo.
I hear you. I guess having lived in Nairobi for a long time, it's not taboo in Nairobi, but I realize that it's taboo in a lot of rural areas.
Let me try to explain it. It's still a taboo. The ladies talk to each other, but not with the partner. They exchange their experience with partners, but they talk about it with their girlfriends.
True.
And if the drama of that experience with a man who doesn't know what to do, when she shares that with her girlfriend, she might get a hug from her girlfriend and a kiss, and she slowly morphs into lesbian behavior.
Oh.
Sorry.
Is that what happens?
Yes. Mega.
What's the most common problem you've experienced in your practice among the people that you coach?
Let me make a list at least 5 of them. And now I'm talking about married people. The first problem is very general. No communication.
Right.
Women talk a lot.
Yes.
Yes. That's the difference between a man and a woman. I mean, apart from
the penis and the vagina.
Yes, exactly. Women can have about 20 or 30,000 words in a day. We are finished after 10,000. Men. That means when the man comes home after work, he's finished with those 10,000 words and she's still bubbling. And we can only say, So a lot of non-verbals because we're finished.
Yeah.
That's one of the differences. Now, let me go to this. The first problem in marriage is lack of communication. That's a subject for itself. The next one, parental difficulties. When kids coming, who takes the main responsibility? It should be shared, but most of the time it goes to the women.
Yeah.
And men have no idea what's going on in school.
Okay.
I ask my daughter every day, what did you pick up in school? But that's because I'm trained.
Yeah, I get that.
But that's not trained for most men. They don't know what's going on with the girls.
So I want to throw in something. How is that tied to the love-making life?
Communication, yes. When troubles come up with the children, that also affects the love life.
How so? For example?
She carries most of the troubles, so and he's responsible to pay for school fees. So it's like a separated world. And there's no unity in that whole job to raise kids.
Yeah.
The next one, financial problems. I know couples, out of my experience, who have separate bank accounts. Him and her. She keeps a certain bank account in case something goes wrong, she has enough to survive for the next 3 years.
Yes.
Oh, you say, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Good. He goes out and buys a car and comes home with that vehicle. He doesn't take her with him.
Oh.
He selects the car. And then he comes home and she said, what? Black? Should have been blue. That's her only interest in the car, the color of the car.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he doesn't take her with him.
Oh.
Financial problems. And she doesn't know where the money came from to buy that car.
Yeah.
That shows you the tension about financial problems. The next one, lack of intimacy. That can happen because of the number of years, but it also can happen that there's no understanding about the need of the woman. Men are not informed. I have a rough comment now. I hope you can swallow that because it's not friendly.
I'm ready.
Men masturbate before they have a partner. And afterwards, when they have a partner, they're still masturbating, using her vagina.
Yeah. I get that.
They're only satisfying themselves. They have no idea how to satisfy the lady.
How come, I've always wondered, how come that men can climax so fast and so easily compared to women? I think maybe that's why the men just go into masturbation mode even when they are with their partner, because they can come real quick.
Ejaculate within minutes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the haraka.
Yeah.
That is animal behavior, according to me. Because a lion or a monkey does the same. Bang, 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 and it walks away. Often I hear exactly the same thing happened in marriage. They have all the things I teach and tell now are available in Google. Why don't they write, how can I satisfy my woman? They get answers. And they never go there for such questions.
Is it too much work? Anyway.
It is work.
It's work.
Marriage is work.
It's work, for sure.
It's a hard job.
Have you handled a case of a couple that was having sexual problems and they succeeded? If so, would you share with us your most successful case that you're proud of?
I missed one in the list. I want to mention number 5.
Oh, sure.
That's an important one. In-laws.
In-laws.
They show up and he doesn't have the backbone to say after 2 days, guys, please go home again.
Yeah.
And they will criticize and finish the lady. You don't clean the right way, you don't cook the right way, you don't treat them the right way. It's disturbing. It can kill a relationship between the partner and his wife.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have the courage to say, this is enough, go home, you have a home. So now we have gone through the list of 5 issues.
Right.
Successful stories, yeah. I had a couple after he came alone for private sessions, which is already remarkable.
Yes, that's rare.
Most cases, the woman comes and she comes without him.
Yes.
She only can come with him if she tells him for the next month no sex, or you come with me to the sexologist.
Under
Under pressure. Then they come. Back to my story.
Yeah.
This man is a pilot. He flies to the United States, from here to there. Long times away from home. And I know out of the experience and the talks of pilots, they land somewhere, the whole staff sits in the same hotel, they eat together, and after eating, the men knock on the door of the girls and flight attendants get their attention.
Yes.
I had a case like that. A lady came to me for counseling. She said, I had sex with the pilot, but that was 17 years ago. My boy is now 17.
Oh.
I said, what are you doing now? She said, I'm waiting.
Waiting?
Imagine. Waiting for him to come. He has other flight attendants at the moment.
Yeah.
It's sick. I told her, I can't help you. You're plugged in somewhere and there's no power.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to unplug yourself, yourself, and find another plug where you
Yeah.
can plug in and you find power.
Yeah.
But ladies can just put sex, this is a remarkable thing, they can put sex in a drawer, close the drawer, lock it, throw away, afterwards they don't even know where the key is. And it's no problem. They can live without it. For men, it's the total opposite. We can't do that.
Yeah. All right.
So he came for
Yeah.
counseling, and finally he was free enough to tell me what he is. He's addicted to spas,
He's addicted to?
to a spa,
Oh,
going for massage,
addicted.
because it's massage with a happy ending.
Oh, okay. I get
And
it.
so addicted that he didn't enjoy that with his wife anymore.
Oh,
Finally, they both came and they said, we want to split. So there was a divorce almost happening. And I'm glad to say that in those sessions, we finally managed to bring those two people together again
oh,
by also admitting him what he's doing. She didn't know.
oh,
So he had to confess those things and stop it.
yeah.
And they're together again. So that's a success story.
Yes. A quick question before I go into I have some questions I had collected. How did you resolve that problem? Was it that now she has to recreate the spa with a happy ending at home? Or is it him who has to just let go of that idea?
What he had is a substitute. He doesn't even know that lady, the
Yeah.
massage girl.
Yeah.
So when they found together that we should start again, it was after about 12 years of marriage. They had to fix it again, and I was helpful to set certain steps. In counseling, we hope that after each session there's some homework, and then in the next session I hear feedbacks about the steps they make to get back together again.
Yeah.
It's a process. It's not done in one session.
Okay. Let me ask one question. My husband masturbates frequently, but seems to avoid making love to me, which is what you were talking about earlier. And then this person is asking two questions. One, what's the problem? And two, how do I handle the dry spell that I am struggling with?
Is she, I don't see that directly, is she seeing him masturbating? You don't know.
I don't know.
You were not there.
Let's say he says it. She has a way to know. Like
Perhaps he goes down to the laptop and watch porn, and while watching porn, he masturbates, and she has realized, or I've seen it.
Yeah, or maybe he tells her. Some people are crazy enough to just say it.
Men don't admit that.
Oh, okay. I have met someone whose husband admitted it to her face.
Okay, it's rare, because they feel ashamed.
Oh,
The problem with masturbation is this. It's not the handling of the penis. It's what's happening in your brain. That's where it happens, and that's why it gives the guilt. Because you're focusing on somebody else. You're not with her, but you need to focus on her to build up the sexual drive to make your instrument stand up.
yeah. So if I can do that by focusing on someone, why can't I have the same effect when I am with that person? You know what I mean? Because he seems to enjoy masturbating more than actually making love to his wife.
How long are they together?
I don't know. I don't have that information. So maybe we can...
Is she not... That's the point. It's communication. When he does that, she should tell him what's missing for her.
Right.
If you're satisfied that what you're doing there, okay. I don't want to change you in this area, but you left me out. I need it.
Yeah.
And women need it even more than men. And she should be able or brave enough to start to discuss that with him.
Right. how does one get off of the addiction of masturbation?
Alcohol, porn, masturbation, all those addictions are long processes.
Right.
I deal with them in counseling. If the person who is in this addiction, whatever I call now, admit that he knows it's an addiction, that's already the first step. And then we can work step by step to get away from it.
Yeah.
But it's a long process. The willing to stop doing that, what he already knows, it's not the right way to do it.
Yeah. The next one says it's like a converse of the previous question. My wife masturbates frequently, but seems to avoid making love to me. She says she can climax within a few minutes when she self-pleasures, but when we're making love, she takes forever to climax, even after prolonged foreplay. And then he says, I need ideas on how to make her come faster because sex is becoming tedious for me.
Yes, then the man will say, I will try harder.
Uh-huh.
And it has nothing to do with trying harder.
Oh, by
Anyway.
trying you mean pumping harder?
Exactly.
Oh.
That's what men understand when they try harder.
Oh, deeper.
Let me go back to her first. Does he know how she pleasures herself? I hardly think he knows.
Let's say he doesn't.
He doesn't know.
Should he watch her or how will he find out?
Yes,
Oh,
because she's not playing with a cucumber. She's not artificially having intercourse. She plays with that miracle spot on the woman's body, the clitoris.
okay.
By the way, the word clitoris comes from clitorius. It's a Greek word which means either little hill or rub it.
Rabbit.
Yes.
Okay.
Now that's what she's doing. And that's an interesting thing. Men don't know about the clitoris. When I speak to men about it, they're shocked when I tell them, when God created this, the clitoris, there only, now listen, there only you find 8,000 nerve endings. Nowhere on her whole body you will find such a concentration of nerves. It's the hot spot. And most of the time, totally neglected. Because by penetration, you don't touch the clitoris.
Yeah.
It's an outside genital expression. They don't know what to do with it. As soon as you learn what the meaning of the clitoris is,
Yeah.
then you can bring a woman to an orgasm. Because over penetration, now let me shock you again.
Yeah.
Less than 10% of the ladies get an orgasm over penetration.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because they are already passing the nerves. At the end of the love tunnel, there are no nerves. At the end of the love tunnel, you find the beginning of the cervix and then the womb.
Okay.
That's the end of the love tunnel.
All right.
Nerves there are rare. Because they don't get satisfied, they fake orgasms. And I have an exact percentage of how many ladies do fake orgasm. It's 64% of the ladies. That's a shock for you men. You think you're doing a marvelous job, and
Is faking it.
she's faking it.
So a woman can fake an orgasm
You work fantastic.
with her face and her words, but
Yeah.
she can't fake it with her vagina,
No,
isn't it?
no.
So why doesn't
He's already out. He had the pleasure. His haraka experience doesn't even allow him, he doesn't stay inside long enough to feel if there is an orgasm, to feel the contractions of the vagina. He misses that already. He's already asleep. Gone.
All right, so 64% of women faking
Faking
orgasms.
orgasms.
Why? Why should I fake it? Why can't I just tell you I didn't?
She is careful not to shock him, not to disappoint him. He is working or pumping or drilling, whatever. Yeah?
Yeah.
And she doesn't have the courage to say, I don't get anything out of this.
Or
I'm not
perhaps,
satisfied.
perhaps she also doesn't know what she would then need.
Yes, because she has not made the experience of an orgasm.
Yeah.
If he would find out what the meaning of the clitoris is, it's a sex organ, the most sensitive part of her body. Touching it with the fingers or oral sex
Yeah.
with the tip of the tongue. When I tell that to certain men, they're already shocked. I can't do that.
Yeah.
They think it smells or something like. They already have excuses.
Right.
Why
Tell
don't
him.
they shower together? I do that every day with my wife.
All right.
And we sleep naked.
Okay. That's good though.
That's my advice. Sorry, free of charge. Shower together. It's the beginning of foreplay.
Right. So learn your woman.
Yeah.
Do more things together. What I hear you saying is that intimacy is not just the sex itself, but
No.
things like showering,
Yeah.
sleeping naked.
Yeah. Holding her, hugging her.
Yeah. All right.
But men have no idea. They're only after this as soon as possible.
The other thing I noticed about a lot of women is that there's a sense of security that can help her body to be at ease. For example, if you are committed, if she's sure that you're committed to her, her body is more at ease than if she doesn't know that you're committed, which is complex. But is there something there?
I tell you, sex happens up here. If your feelings, your mind is okay in the partnership,
Right.
that's the best basic element to have a happy sex life. But I read an research done by universities. How many people who are married are really happy? And it goes down to only 17%.
So if we're married and we're not happy, then our sex life cannot be good.
Right.
But the man can still enjoy it.
Yes. Yes, he's enjoying it without enjoying it with her.
Yeah.
He's on the selfish trip.
Yeah.
He uses her.
Yeah. All right. If I find that my husband's size of penis does not satisfy me, there's nothing I can do. I can't increase the size. Like this one looks small. Is there a remedy for that?
Let me tell you the truth. It's a whole market for penis enlargement pills. Nothing works.
Really?
Nothing works.
Uh-huh.
Say thank you for that what he got. That's it.
All right.
Don't believe in penis enlargement methods. Even of surgery. It's useless. And all those pills are not working.
And Viagra?
That's something else. You would like to talk about that one?
I guess we can touch on it. I know Viagra is for something different. He doesn't get erections.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
Viagra helps the blood to go to the penis and enlarge those two chambers. Let me say it using my arms. If this is the penis, mine is not that big. If,
But
if this is the
if it
penis,
was.
yeah, it has two chambers inside the penis. That's the gland. They need to be filled with blood. He cannot command his blood to go there. No command for that. It must start in the brain by, for instance, slowly undressing her. But I have people in counseling who tell me, I've never seen his penis. We go to the bedroom, he switches off the light, we undress ourselves, and under the duvet, I know it's there. I felt it, but I've never seen it.
Oh.
Hiding the visual contact to that special part of his body. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. I do the job. There's no romance in it.
Yeah.
It's just an act to satisfy himself.
Mating.
Yeah, mating, yeah.
If I feel that his penis is too small, is there any remedy? What can I do?
The nerves inside the vagina are in the beginning. So even a smaller penis can satisfy her. But I know there is a joke about the Chinese.
What's the joke?
The joke is when he's inside and she makes, he's out. I don't know whether that's true, but I think that is something which comes from there, that people think small penises are not enough. It works.
So the idea is to get the vagina to contract.
Yeah.
All right. So the same question now to the woman is so if you feel that your wife's vagina is too big, there's that, I've heard that complaint. Or after she gave birth, it became too big. What is going on there? Is it that she's not pleasured enough, or is that actually a thing that happens?
Again, there are so many myths around sexuality. When she gives birth to a child, the normal way, not a CC,
Yeah.
her body goes back to normal. There is not a big theater for his small trumpet.
All right.
It's not true. But even there is again a market for things which ladies try to buy to get the vagina tighter.
Yeah, the other myth I've heard is that if I was having sex with someone who had a very big penis,
And then afterwards, she's not satisfied with her own instrument.
the next one has a smaller one, I will never be satisfied. Is that a myth, or is there some truth to that?
In the brains of women, those thoughts are around. They think it has to do with size. It has nothing to do with size.
Right.
I hope you men hear that. Be happy with God, what God gave you.
We're coming to the place where you're going to tell us the different parts of a penis and how to pleasure each part.
Okay. It's the gland where the nerves are. Pumping up and down here, what most ladies think is pleasurable for him, it's nothing.
Really?
No. The feeling is in the gland.
Are the glands
Not
here?
here. Yeah.
The tip?
The top there. And where is the most concentrated point for the nerves of the penis? It's behind here.
Oh.
Stand there. So again here, it's on this side. Touching this him here brings him to heaven.
This?
Yes.
Oh. That's even easier than I thought.
It is easy.
Because I thought it was this whole, all that work.
No. He has to do it with his penis so that the tip of the penis gets this sensation feeling. But the whole length of the penis has no special experience as only getting relatively stiff.
That is brand new information.
And he cannot control, again, I told you, he cannot control the blood to go there. So that's one of the things which is a side effect of Viagra. It helps with medical, helps to make those chambers open enough and to bring the blood there flowing easier.
All right.
But he has no command over his blood flow. When it's full enough, the blood flow should stop. The brain works and says this is enough, otherwise this thing might explode. So it stops the flow.
Right.
Then after ejaculation, the brain registers and said, he had it. So it said, we take the blood back to the rest of the system. And his flagpole goes down.
Oh.
And it doesn't come up anymore.
Does circumcision have any effect on the amount of pleasure that a man...
It has an effect on the amount of nerves. When I told you that the clitoris has about 10,000 nerve endings, compared to the penis, it only has 4,000 nerves. And after circumcision, I have to be very careful because now I come in a shocking area. 75% of those nerves are gone.
Oh, 75.
So he's remaining with 1,000. And that's the reason why most men are rough fuckers.
I get you, but I'm thinking he has those few nerve endings, and yet it's still so easy for him to be pleasured.
Yeah, that's the difference between, I told you in connection to a number of words, how women and men are different. Now let me talk about the other part. For a man, masturbating or rubbing the tip of the penis brings immediately the effect and brings ejaculation.
Yeah.
For a woman, it's totally different. She is like a Jiko. It takes time to warm her up. And that's what I call foreplay. But most men don't do. But foreplay brings her slowly, haba na haba ujasaki baba, to that point, where she finally reaches her first orgasm.
Yeah.
Listen carefully. She can have a second and a third and a fourth orgasm. Men don't know. Because for them, after their ejaculation orgasm experience, they're down.
Right.
But when I know how to bring her up to her first orgasm, it doesn't need much because she doesn't fall down. She is still there on cloud 9. So she can be touched again, for instance, over the clitoris, and she can have a second or third and a fourth orgasm after each other.
From what I've heard is that that second, third is sometimes unbearable for some women, and they tell their men to stop. Please stop, 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 stop.
My wife say, yeah, I'm okay.
Sorry?
My wife tells me, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
When it's enough.
Uh-huh.
After the third or fourth orgasm, she tells me, it's okay.
So it's okay for...
Which means I bring her to those orgasms.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, all right. Parts of vagina and how to pleasure each part. I think that's more complex than for the men because any kind of contact seems to work. But for women, I think that like the clitoris might be a very erotic area, but if you apply too much pressure, then you will get the wrong effect.
Yes.
It will be repulsive.
Because it's sensitive, super sensitive. So touching it with the tongue is the most ideal way to bring her to an orgasm.
Are there different types of orgasms? The orgasm I get from the clitoris and the orgasm I get from the G spot, the A spot, the other spot, are they different?
No. It's all signals goes up to the brain and it gives this happy feeling of I reach a maximum. But you're right. Many ladies have never ever been there for the first time.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're dreaming about. They talk about it to their colleagues. Have you had it? Did you reach there? And they're just dreaming. Their men don't know how to bring them there. So you were talking about the vagina, how to stimulate the vagina. Take away the clitoris at the moment for a moment. I tell men in foreplay, the most important thing is to suck her nipples. You know what they say? That's for babies.
I thought men love that. No?
They don't know. Because they don't know what happens. If a man touches the nipples, for a woman it's something completely different if a baby does the same.
Yes, it's very different.
So let me go back to the man. If he touches her nipples, a signal electronically goes up to her brain and there is switched into a command to make her vagina lubricated.
Oh.
Without that, it becomes domestic rape. She's not ready for it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened all the time.
Yeah.
If he doesn't name at least, now listen, 20 minutes foreplay. And when I tell it to the man, he said, well, what do I do at 20 minutes? He wants to be inside. Learn that. Take 20, 30 minutes, just hugging, touching, talking to her,
yes.
sweet things.
Yes.
Yeah. But most important, touch her nipples, because that makes her, over that whole mechanism, over her brain, lubricated and ready for penetration.
Is that universal for all women?
Works for all ladies.
Oh, all right. The neck, what's the story about the neck?
Yeah, or the ear lips. That all belongs to foreplay. Touching her everywhere. But the most important, to make her lubricated,
Yeah.
works over the breast.
All right. From what I know is that the orgasm that some women, I don't know if it's all women, but the orgasm that some women get from oral sex is very powerful. Like to that point where she says, please stop, I can't take in anymore. It's good, but I just can't take anymore. And then the one from penetrative sex, I don't know if it's ever that powerful.
No, I told you, less than 10% of the lady can get an orgasm over penetration. So the length of the dick has nothing to do with it. They don't get it.
It's the movement? Is it the movement of the dick?
It's difficult to say that. The pleasure comes if he knows how to do it sweet and soft and tender. And men don't know those three words.
Are there women who love kinky sex though?
Because they've never learned something else.
Oh.
Sorry. That's what they get in a one-night stand with anybody.
Yeah.
I need it. And he did it. But it doesn't bring them to an orgasm. I teach men sex should be soft, sweet and tender, not rough sex. She doesn't need that. And if he learns how to penetrate her sweet, soft and tender, she will reach an orgasm over the penis, in the vagina, over the penis penetration. The way he does it, not the length of it.
What about this woman who said she takes very long? So by the time if he waits for her, the penis goes down.
Yeah. She should learn that what I tell you, many ladies will never reach an orgasm over penetration. They think it's the way to get it. No. It's one way which most of the time doesn't work. Because he's not soft, sweet and tender. He thinks by doing more, he works harder, and that means drilling or pumping or whatever we call it.
Yeah, or lasting long, is it?
Lasting long. If he has his orgasm after the ejaculation, the brain tells, hey, he had it. We take the blood back and his instrument goes down.
Yes.
And he has no control over it. She should also learn not to blame him that there is now no standing erection anymore, because he has no control over it. But that is again communication and knowledge over this blood system. The same is for the clitoris. The clitoris also swells. The clitoris also has a foreskin, a hood.
Oh, yeah, you had some pictures.
Yeah.
And I was surprised today when you said that the clitoris is like a small version of a penis.
Let me first talk about the clitoris. That whole picture is the clitoris. The only thing we see is the outer part, that's only the tip here, which is something like this.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen smaller, bigger ones, but rarely. It's just a fingertip. And the rest is inside the body. 99% of the clitoris is invisible. And men don't even know about the existence. When I'm shown this picture, they say, what?
Wait, are you saying that this whole thing is the clitoris?
Yes, that's the whole is the clitoris, yes.
What part of it can we see?
Only the tip here.
Oh my goodness.
2% of the clitoris is visible. And that top is loaded with those 10,000 nerves.
All right.
That means inside her body are those two wings, or legs, or how you want to pronounce it. If he learns how to touch with his fingers inside the vagina, he can reach inside, not knowing exactly where, but bring her to an orgasm over penetration with fingers.
No.
By the way, have your fingernails cut, guys. Yeah.
No long
It's a funny
nails.
habit. They have long fingernails here. On the small one, okay, my friend. If it needs to be there, it's a tradition, it's a culture.
Yeah.
But the other fingers, please, keep them super short, like mine.
And clean.
And clean, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally short.
Another one?
Yeah. Now, if you see this one, only the tip of the clitoris, I have a cut, a cross cut of the clitoris. And it will surprise all people. This is the cut of the clitoris.
When I saw it, my first thought was that it looks like a tomato.
It's not.
The two.
Let's get back to our dear clitoris tips. It means it has also two chambers, like
Right.
the penis. And those two chambers fill with blood. And it gets erected. It has the same characteristics as the penis.
I found
It
that
just have not the
so
same size.
Interesting, yes. So that's one way that a man can know whether she's faking it or not.
When the clitoris is
is it-
swollen, yes or no? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
But does he go there?
Does he go there?
That's my question. How will he ever find out if he never goes there and touches the clitoris? Then, if he doesn't, he will realize that one is now swollen.
What can a man do if he suspects that his woman fakes the orgasm?
Talk about it. Talk about it.
It feels
Are you satisfied? Do I do the right things?
Yes.
Talking.
I'll say yes. Can he push further than that? If the woman says
Tell
yes,
me what you would like me to do. Tell me
That
what
works.
you would like me to do for you.
yeah, that works.
That works.
Yeah.
Now the shock. Here. The other picture. Next to each other. That's the cross cut of the penis. And it's absolutely similar. Two chambers filled with blood. Both have a foreskin. Here they call it a hood.
Oh, a hood.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the vagina, the small lips, the labia minora, the small ones. The top there covers the clitoris.
Yes. Oh.
So it's slightly covered also.
Are the lips apart an extension of the clitoris? I didn't understand that.
No, they cover the
They
clitoris.
cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the difference between the penis and the clitoris is here is inside the penis also the exit for peeing.
Yeah.
It's the urethra. Yeah?
Urethra.
The thing is that is not there. That is the difference. Now the shocking story comes now. When an embryo is formed inside her womb, the good thing is God tells you, I already know you before you were born. I have good plans for you. Okay, by the way, back to the embryo. The embryo is either XX, then it's a female, or XY, it's a male.
It's a male, yeah.
Who makes the difference? Not the lady.
Yes.
She only has the two X.
Yes.
So whatever it becomes, a boy or a girl, is to blame on him.
Yeah.
Not to some marriages split because of this drama.
Yes.
We always have girls.
They say the
When
woman.
do I have a boy?
Yes.
But
also, does he have any control? Of,
No.
Yeah.
No.
So no one really has control.
How many sperms are traveling towards the egg to find there an entrance?
Millions.
Yes. So he has no influence on it. But he's the one who either delivers the X to the other X or the Y to the other X.
Yes. Yes, we get that.
Now the funny thing is, if the embryo is in the development stage, there is a little part in the body of that to be human. It's not yet human, it's an embryo. You cannot know whether this embryo is double X or XY. And then inside that embryo, a certain gene starts working. On that B, it's for both the same. It can develop either this way or that way. For the female, the XX, and that is definitely not now becoming, because it's already XX from the fertilization,
Yes.
from the beginning.
Yes.
But you don't know, is this embryo female or male? But the gene knows it. The gene knows I am here in an embryo which is XX, and it starts to develop that part which is similar for the boy and the girl, and this gene develops it into the clitoris. Why does the man then get a penis? It comes from the same little organ which is there, but it happens because he has in his body, next to the gene, androgen. Androgens.
Androgens.
They form out of the same basic substance the penis. Somebody asked me, are all embryos in the beginning female? No. They're either XX or XY.
Yes.
But it takes time till the forming of the external sexual organs. In the XX, out of the same material, it forms the clitoris, this one, or because of the androgens, they are not in a female embryo. They're not there. They cannot do that.
Yeah.
Because God separated those together with the Y. And the Y androgens makes finally out of the same material the penis.
I get you, and I feel like that's a whole
That means
show.
they're brother and sister.
Yes, and
That's why they call the clitoris in Greek little hill or turap. Yeah?
so there's a little
It's the
hill
little penis.
and a big hill,
Uh-huh.
right? Do all women squirt?
That's a super question.
There's that debate.
Yes. When I talk to ladies who come from Uganda, they say we all do it. Have you heard that?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
But I suspect some of them pee and say they're squirting.
The first thing I have to take away, squirting is not pee.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, I hope you agreed, but most people think, and that's why they're shocked when it happens. When a lady doesn't know what squirting means or is, and it happens to her, the first shock is, oh, the sheets are wet. She feels embarrassed.
Yeah.
And it should be maximum pleasure.
Yes.
It's the top of the orgasm. They never reach there because they don't reach a normal orgasm. So how do they ever get to the top? This might happen without even knowing that it happens. And he is shocked and she is shocked and they will never do it again.
What?
Shocking. Shocking experience in sex. Back to my first line. Sex is divine. You had no idea about it. It's God's idea. Squirting is not something wrong. And it's not peeing.
So do all women squirt? Is it
No,
a biological?
They don't do it because they cannot do it. It's not doable.
What?
Yeah.
What's not doable?
You cannot squirt. Like, I want to squirt. No. How?
No, I mean, under maximum pleasure, some women will squirt. Are you saying that there's no such thing as squirting?
There is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but it's a rare experience. And normally it doesn't happen because of penetration. Rarely.
What one makes it happen?
I have a picture for that.
Great.
There is something inside the vagina which is called the G spot. We talk now about the clitoris, that's the C spot. Now let's turn our attention to the G spot. He cannot do it with the penis. He might be able to do it with the penis when they are in the doggy style position.
Oh.
Then it's possible to make her squirt. Because then he penetrates from another angle and he doesn't go into the whole vagina, so that he might touch unknowingly the G-spot area.
What's at the G spot? What is there? Nerve endings?
It
For
has
sure.
to do with that what is invisible for ours. It's part of the clitoris,
Oh,
the inside part of the clitoris, and it's touched there when he, with two clean hands, short fingernails, all those things, when he is allowed, and that's also a point, when he is allowed by the lady to finger her vagina.
right.
That's already another taboo.
Oh,
I don't want you to touch me there.
why?
It's made for the vagina, for the penis. That's a fixed thinking. That's what it is for. So when you want to touch her there, they get away there.
Not these Canairo women.
Anyway, this is what it needs to do. When he takes half, 2/3 of the fingers.
Oh, not all in.
No,
Okay.
look at the picture.
Yeah.
And then he can do something which is kuja. Come to me, baby.
All right.
That's also Swahili, I know.
Yeah.
This is touching that soft tissue which is inside there. There's not a spot which you can say, that is the G spot.
Oh.
It's an area.
Oh.
You have to find out. You have to be
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
And she must allow you to be creative to find out where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And if he does that the right way, soft, sweet, and tender again, yeah?
Yeah.
That might touch the nerves here, and then two tissues inside her vagina swell and produce a liquid. Again, it's not peeing. I have to say that again.
Agreed.
All people say
No,
it's
we've
peeing.
agreed. No,
yeah, you
it's
have agreed,
not
but the
peeing.
rest.
No, they've agreed.
They have to
They've
agree now.
agreed. I can
They
see
have
them
to agree
nodding.
now. Yeah? Then it might happen that she starts to squirt. Now, that can be a little bit of liquid. And the other is a stream, a fountain.
Oh.
I have seen squirtings. The stream reaches the wall there. Shocking. But she's so proud about it, so she even makes a YouTube about it. And,
She makes a what about it?
a YouTube.
Oh.
You can watch it there.
Oh.
Yeah. That's an exception. But little bit or making the street wet, that's not a shame. It's the highest orgasm feeling for a woman. So if he knows what he's doing and they have discussed it, for heaven's sake, again, communication, guys, learn to talk about it, what you would like to do with her.
Yeah.
And if she can say, I would like you to do that for me, then they're mutual together.
Yes.
And they're experimenting other dimensions of sexual experience.
Right.
I have something else for you.
Oh, great.
Some ladies love those things. Those are vibrators, and this one is called the rabbit because it has also the vibrator part in this little part, and it touches the clitoris at the same time when it's inside the vagina. Double function.
Where does this add value in an experience between a man and a woman?
If they are satisfied in their sex life, they can play other games.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
But it should not be the substitute for the real experience.
And if he has something like premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction, you know, I've heard of someone who would finish, get his pleasure and then give it to her. I know you didn't get there, so here.
If they agree about having it, most ladies have it somewhere in a drawer. He doesn't even know it's
Hidden.
there. Yeah. She uses it when he's not around.
Yeah.
So that should be openly discussed that she has it,
Yeah.
and telling him where she get it from, yeah, and why she bought it, because this should be discussed. All those things should be talked to.
Some men will feel like, will get insecure and feel like, does it mean I'm not making you happy?
Right.
So how can I handle that if I want to use it, how will I handle his ego?
Then ask him to Google those toys, sex toys, and buy them for you. Then he can step over that feeling like, I did it, I bought it for you because I know what I'm doing. That is okay, but now you have something else which you have also a kind of pleasure from it.
Yeah.
I was just before talking about the G-spot. There's even a special Mega instrument. This one vibrates on the top and does exactly that what he can do with the fingers.
Oh.
But if you do it with the fingers, you don't need this.
Right.
By the way, they're not loaded, you cannot test them.
Okay. I wasn't going to test them.
Why not having more play?
Tell me
It
about...
doesn't have to be tying her with ropes. That's a very funny sex experience. But something like that. Those are soft cufflinks and she can open them by herself. There's nothing special. There are no keys. It's just something playful.
Make it fun.
But yeah, having fun in the bedroom. It doesn't need to be the bedroom. It can be the kitchen.
Right.
Or the back seat of the car.
Right.
Or whatever.
Wherever.
I have something else, which is rather shocking also.
Yeah, this shocked me.
Yeah,
knocked me out.
This is called love balls. When you feel it, there's inside something which also vibrates when you move it.
Is it automated or it doesn't need batteries? It doesn't vibrate. Okay.
No. Inside it's hollow, and inside a round ball is also moving. And where do we use it? The woman can put one into the vagina and then the other one also there. And she's walking around in the city with a smile on her face because she has still the feeling like he's still inside me.
That feels uncomfortable.
Till you do it. And you might get used to it. That's also not good.
So that requires lubrication though, doesn't it? Some kind of lubrication?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But if you want to have it right now, you can use lubrication, which you can buy. And lubricate those two balls and ploop.
No, I don't.
Ploop. They go inside.
Nope. No, thank you.
It's not an offer for you. Some ladies love it. One of my colleagues is also a sexologist. And he calls groups of ladies together and they all pay heavily. And one of those ladies, he will do that what I showed you here and brings her to the orgasm and squirting. You heard about it?
I have.
I heard about it, I've never seen it. I've seen the videos about it, but I think it's absolutely wrong.
Why so?
All those who are looking at it don't get it.
Oh. So
only one is the test sample. And he shows it's possible. And they all go home with that feeling from, why did I never feel that? How can I feel that? They're just excited and they don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
They only know it's possible to have an orgasm and have a squirting experience. And that makes them sure I can ask my partner to do the same things which he did. But I think it's a wrong way of behaving to do something like that in a group of people.
What would be an effective way to do it? And maybe I should tie that with my last question of the feeling of being underwhelmed. Like if I went to make love to my partner with certain expectations and I didn't achieve them, or maybe he wanted me to squirt and I didn't do it, or I wanted him to last 40 minutes and he only lasted 20. How do we deal with that? Let me share a story with you. Someone told me that they were sexually abused by their house help when he was very young, and the house help used to squirt. So all his life he looks for it, and I think he became a sex addict just from testing to see who can squirt and who cannot squirt. What would you say to someone like that who then falls in love with a woman who does not squirt and so he's never sexually satisfied?
we come back to the basic thing of communication. How shall she know what courting is? How can she know what he's dreaming about and expecting? And if they really don't get it by trying for themselves, the last solution is have a session with me.
Yes, get sex coaching.
But without any practical experiences.
Yes.
It remains like counseling psychology, a pure talking therapy. They have to do the job themselves. In the United States, I know one of my colleagues, they have rooms where they can do it in a separate room, but he has a transparent window and can see what they're doing and instruct them from there over the microphone and the speakers. That's America, United States, leave it.
Also, I can't imagine that.
No.
That would turn me off
Exactly.
already.
Exactly. To know that somebody else is looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And directing.
Yeah, what to do. No. It doesn't fit. It happens. It's not something we can import here.
You've really drummed in about communication. I loved when you said, what can I do? I love that. I love that. What would you want me to do for you? That is such a powerful statement.
Yes. And I hope when ladies listen to this show, they get the courage to tell the partner, listen to me now, sit down, look in my eyes, eye contact. We don't do that in Kenya. This way and that way. The eyes are somewhere here. Look at each other, eye to eye, and then tell him, I have a wish. I would like you to do this for me. And I would like nobody else to do that for me. And then explain exactly what you would like him to do. I think when you talk like that, his instrument starts already to stand
Already,
up.
he's already excited.
Yes, but that's not what you want at the moment. You want something else.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So there's much to explore. In my phone, I have one folder with more than 100 different positions.
Oh.
And I thought you were one time talking about somebody who is since 12 years, all those 12 years, always having the missionary position.
Yes. There's someone
had that
who.
question.
Yes, I did. Thank you for bringing that out. I don't know how I skipped it, but they were saying my husband is very conservative and he only wants missionary style. The last 10 years has been the same style. Whenever I suggest something new, he loses interest, and I am tired of this marriage.
How can you change a man from a behavior which he already does for the last 10 or 12 years? You cannot change him anymore. You're too late, my dear.
Oh.
You should have talked about this earlier.
She tried suggesting.
Aggressively trying. No, not you. Imagine, that man in 12 years gains more and more weight. Having that load on your body. There's no pleasure at all.
There's no, yeah.
You lose your breath when all those kilos are on top. There are so many other positions. But she should do that. Go to the internet, find another position and print it out.
Print it out
and give it to him. I said, I would like this to do together with you.
I think we just have to have courage.
12 years is too much.
Yeah.
He will not change anymore.
Yeah.
I think he might also be extremely religious and think this is the only way you
Probably.
should do it.
Yeah.
I smelled something like that in it.
Yeah.
Because how can he continue to do the same thing again and again and again every time again?
Also, maybe he could be afraid of failing, because I think new positions can be clumsy if you've never tried it. So.
But if you talk to each other, said, let's try this. There's no clumsy feeling. You're testing something.
Yeah.
Try. It's interesting.
Thank you so much, Piet, for making time for us. We are honored to have had this conversation and even making it so comprehensive. I don't think there's something any of us doesn't understand. What really struck me was how easy it is to pleasure a man because it's just one sport, you said.
Yeah.
The rest of it is collateral. Wow, that's amazing. Give us your final thoughts first and then tell us where people can find you.
The final thought is, I'm first of all people-oriented and not money-oriented. In my church, I do counseling free of charge.
Wow.
And there are 10,000 members.
Wow.
So there's a lot of work there already.
Yes.
Outside, I do charge. And my telephone number helps you to talk to me in WhatsApp. You don't have to call me. I don't need to hear your voice. If it's helpful, you can WhatsApp me and say, can I ask this question? And I will come back to you and tell you.
Right.
If you then need a one-to-one session or even a partner session, then we discuss about the costs.
Right.
And they're all discussable, variable, and they're not fixed.
That's very good to hear.
So the number is 0724 463 222.
Use WhatsApp. All right. Thank you so much once again for making time for us. And thank you all for watching. Let us know your thoughts and comments and questions in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't and tell your friends about this new segment. Bye.